Oh my gosh, hi. Okay, so I was having such difficulty with this tonight. I don't have a little banner tonight. I was just looking up stuff. So I'm going to roll the intro and we're going to talk about Waymo cars. What are they? What's the deal? They're the driverless. Boom! Let's do this. I cut myself off with that intro there. Didn't mean to do that. I'm just having such a hard time finding a spot for Sid Squatch. Sometimes it looks like I'm talking through him as a microphone. But we're going to talk about Waymo cars. Do you guys know what they are? So I got to bring up my Google Slides, which is really cool. This is how I can share stuff with you. So the reason why I'm bringing it up is because a lot of people, there's a lot of controversy about it. And so people are like, they're not safe, blah, blah, blah. And I have friends. I mean, it's great. I have friends sending me stuff all the time that are like, oh, Waymo car did this, did that. So even in Phoenix one time, there was a Waymo car going the wrong way, but it was a construction zone. So it wasn't like on the freeway, there's nobody in the car. So I have a couple videos to share with you, but I'm going to show you. So I used a bunch of information. Oh my God, I have an old background up because I was looking at it. Let me change that really quick. Boom. Okay. Okay. So I used all of these: Tech Buzz, Reddit, LinkedIn, yada, yada, blue. That's a Waymo right there. And so basically, so here's the deal. So it's called automation. So what is automation? It's the technique of making an apparatus, a process, or a system operate automatically. Okay, so being automatically controlled, blah, 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 take the place of human labor. So a lot of people have been talking about this and like, what's the big controversy? What's the deal? Are they taking jobs from Lyft and Uber? And I have a couple of quotes I think in here from that. It's kind of like when Lyft and Uber took over with the taxis and stuff. So the interesting thing is, and I think that I forgot to put a map of where Waymo goes. So let me just see if I can pull this up here that I can show you. Because okay, yeah, so you'll see it, but kind of not see it. It doesn't go everywhere. So it's in Phoenix, and Phoenix is always a test market for stuff, but it doesn't go everywhere. So if you can see this, it's kind of got this weird graphic. Hang on, I got to share my screen. Here, can you see this? Okay, so this is where it is, okay? And it's basically Phoenix, Scottsdale, not all of Scottsdale, Mesa, not all of Mesa, Chandler, not all of them. So Tempe, I think all of Tempe, part of, oh my God, sorry, it's just totally moving. But here, I'm going to stop sharing the screen just so you can get over that. It's not everywhere, but it's convenient for the places that it is. So I live basically downtown, Midtown. So I'll talk about the good things with it here in a minute. So here we're going to talk about this. Okay. So this is what automation is. And so this is what Waymo is doing. So here's an article, Tesla versus Waymo, the tale of two self-driving dreams and why I still love my spaceship sound. Now I have a Honda Accord hybrid, and it makes the spaceship sound when I'm backing up, like, it's pretty cool. I like it too. So the reason why I picked this is because it kind of talks about it. So Tesla and Waymo represent fundamentally different philosophies in the pursuit of autonomous driving. Tesla, under Elon Musk, has committed to a vision-only approach, believing cameras alone can achieve full autonomy. So I'm just kind of making it shorter. It's an elegant theory. Humans drive using primarily visual input. So why shouldn't machines be able to do the same? Well, Waymo, on the other hand, has taken what might be called the belt and suspenders approach, which is combining multiple sensor types, LiDAR, radar, and cameras to create a comprehensive understanding of the vehicle's environment. The vehicles map their surroundings with millimeter precision, creating a detailed digital twin of the world they navigate. So to me, that's a lot safer. And I don't know, I think with the Tesla cars, they're not really meant to sit in the back and not drive as much as Waymos are. And so you don't even sit in the front seat in a Waymo. You're not supposed to, because, and you probably wouldn't want to, because you don't want to. And how is this mic, by the way, if anybody that's watching? Is it, I mean, I was trying to test it earlier, it didn't sound that loud. I would be too tempted to want to turn or stop or do something, and then that would really mess things up. But it's got a ton of sensors, and I believe that it's just as safer than people that are driving cars. Okay, so here's some more stuff. Understanding the autonomous vehicle landscape. Okay, so the true difference between Tesla and Waymo is that the established framework for measuring this autonomy. Okay, so this Society of Automotive Engineers has defined 6 levels of automation, from 0 being manual to level 5 being fully autonomous, and that helps us stand where the capabilities stand. So Tesla operates at a level 2, basically. So that means while the vehicle can control both steering and speed, the driver must remain fully attentive and can take control at any moment. Okay. So it says take having a talented but inexperienced student driver, for instance. Waymo, on the other hand, is at level 4, allowing their vehicles to operate without human intervention in mapped areas. So just like the area that I showed you. Okay, I have a comment coming in, so that is very cool. Oh, Mike is good. Thank you, Gian. Thank you so much. I was just like, oh my God, what's going on here? Okay, so it's interesting. And Gian knows. She's I've hung out with her quite a few times, and I've taken driverless car to get there. And sometimes that's the reason why I make my decision to go someplace, because it okay, so I'll just tell you up front in case I forget. It is in Phoenix. Now in San Francisco, apparently it's not cheaper than driving a Lyft or an Uber, or taking a Lyft or an Uber, but it is here. Or if it's the same price, it still ends up being cheaper because you don't have to tip. So for instance, one day I took Waymo, or not a Waymo, I took a Lyft to the airport before I left for one of my things, and it was $50 without the tip. So it was $60. Okay. On the way back is when I decided I'm going to try Waymo from the airport. And now they actually go to the terminals, but they go to this like station and you take the SkyTrain, which is just as easy. So I took that and it was $16. So you tell me which is better. So Gian says, I work on ASU Tempe campus and Waymo's everywhere. Yeah, actually, Gian, it started in Tempe and parts of Chandler and then parts of Phoenix, and now it's spreading out. So the interesting thing is you can download the app, and if you're in Phoenix, I can give you a code. I'm not sponsored by Waymo, but I sure do like them a lot. And I've had some struggles with them. And I'm like, wait a minute, am I sharing something? Can you see me? I'm good. Anyway, they've, fixed it right away. So let's move on here. And I'm only just giving you, oh, Pam. Yeah. Pam says, can't wait to come and try mine. I know I keep talking to her about it. I'm like, yeah, get out here and try this. Okay. So additionally, this interactive comparison. So Tesla being at a 2 and Waymo being at a 4, fully autonomous, it shows stark contrast in how these companies approach autonomous driving. Okay. So don't buy a Tesla to sit in it like a Waymo kind of thing. Okay. So hopefully I'll help you with how they look different by the end of this Candor with Katie. So this person that wrote this, as someone who experiences these technologies firsthand, she's convinced the future of autonomous driving will be shaped not by which company has the boldest vision or the most sensors, but by which one can consistently deliver the promise of safer, more convenient transportation. So for now, she's like, I'll keep enjoying my spaceship sounds of my Tesla and driving. Okay. So the thing, okay, I'm going to show you this too now. So that's the thing. Who's going to provide the safer service, which I am going to get to here in a second. So now this is about Uber and Lyft drivers. So some of them have reported that robotaxis are hurting their earnings in Phoenix and LA. Jason, a 50-year-old Uber driver in Phoenix, told Business Insider it had become harder to make money in recent years because of increased competition with other drivers, lower fares, fewer tips from riders, and higher operating costs. Now, he said the rollout of Waymo One robotaxis has made this problem even worse. But I want to remind you that This is where they go in Phoenix, okay? So it's not everywhere. I know, sorry, it's this fancy dancy in and out thing. Doot, 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 okay? But it's not all of Phoenix, not all everywhere. So it has expanded a bit, but not everywhere. Oh, Colby, hey. He says I rode a magic carpet and at times the city bus pantless. Oh, that's totally safe. I mean, you should basically ride everywhere pantless as far as I'm concerned. And you can ride in a Waymo pantless. That would be an advantage. So Pam says they have sensors now to tell people they have someone in the back seat meant for parents. I know. Okay, so that's a really good point, Pam. My car has that. It says be sure to check the back seat. So for kids or dogs or anything else, or maybe the groceries that you love so very, very much. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think that this is going to take away from Lyft and Uber drivers and their money, or no? So I have a friend in Dallas. If Shimmy's watching, she's driving a Lyft in Dallas, Texas. Has it hurt her business? Okay, I gotta move my head so you can see that better. So like that's what the Waymos look like. They're Jaguar cars. They're very nice cars, leather seats. Okay, to be sure, it's unclear how much robotaxis such as Waymo ones are currently impacting drivers' earnings. So Carl Benedict Fry, a professor of AI and work at the Oxford Internet Institute, previously told, oh, that's the institute. What's the institute? I just said. There's little evidence that the vehicles had a significant impact on Uber and Lyft drivers' earnings so far. So here's the thing. Would you agree? Because it isn't everywhere in the cities. So it potentially, if they're going to take a statistic based on all of Lyft and Uber drivers in Phoenix, let's say, or San Francisco, or wherever else they're using them, is it going to be a fair statistic? Or should they just use the statistic in the areas that Uber and Lyft drivers are driving that also have Waymo? Okay, so I haven't delved that deep. Don't know how far they have gone into that. Okay. So as technology gets better and cheaper, drivers will feel it in their wallets, Fry said. We've seen this movie before. When Uber first showed up, it reduced traditional taxi drivers' earnings by about 10%. So there's another guy, John, a 43-year-old Uber and Lyft driver in Phoenix, said he thought Waymo once robotaxis had hurt his earnings. He sometimes asks his passengers about their experiences using these taxis to get a better understanding of his competition. Okay. So if you compare the cost of Waymo with those of Uber or Lyft, it's difficult because prices. Now here's the key: prices vary by market, length of trip, promotional offers the passenger may have, and whether the city client tips a human driver. So those are huge right there. Prices vary by market, length of trip, promotional offers the passenger may have, and whether the client tips a human driver. So it says there's some relief for human drivers. Restrictions on where robotaxis can drive could help limit the impact on these types of drivers. See, isn't that interesting? Okay, so Colby has a big one. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. It's like public transportation. We will get here in the next 3 years, and it will feel weird to have debated. Like Airbnb and hotel bookings. They will have a big swing, and then it will go back. Then we will be discussing airborne vehicles and how they impact wheels on the ground. That is such a good point. Such a good point. Okay, so GN says, I agree. I always see Waymo, but also Lyft and Uber drivers around Tempe with passengers. Like when Uber started, earnings aren't guaranteed, so it's the same concept. Yeah, and I know that in Las Vegas, Nevada, so I live close enough that, I've been there a few times, and I know that they didn't allow Uber and Lyft at the beginning, but now they do. So, and I also know people who consistently take taxis alone because they're keeping the money with the OGs, so to speak. So Pam says, safe for whom, Colby? Haha. I know exactly, right? Safe for Colby, that's for sure. Okay, yeah. So interesting topic, right? Interesting topic. Okay. Okay. Oh, I did put it in there. Okay, so now you can see a better picture of Phoenix. So basically, I live right here, and my office is like over here somewhere. So I can pretty much go to like North Scottsdale, and then there's just this weird gap in here, and my sister lives up here somewhere. So it almost reaches there. But I can go see my friends in Gilbert and Chandler down here. And I think that the biggest difficulty with that when I'm planning that is that the time that it takes. Because although I've seen them on the freeways here, they don't always take the freeways. Oh my God, this is turning into a really long one. Sorry. But it's to me, it's very interesting. So I was hoping that you guys would like this. Okay, so let's chat about some incidences. Did I do this? Okay, so here is, hang on a second. This is a guy that got pulled. Let's see. Cop Cop confronts driverless Waymo car that freaked out and drove into oncoming traffic. I'm not sure it drove into traffic or if it, like I said, went into the wrong. Hang on a sec. Okay, stop screen share. Okay, I got to screen share this one. Hang on one sec. Technology. Okay, so just take a look at this. I'm going to make it bigger, then hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Okay.
No, can you show me out at 7th Ave in Osborne? I got
this is in Phoenix, by the way.
Unmanned vehicle that was kind of taken off from me. It's a Waymo car.
So you heard him say,
yeah,
"Did
it
it stop?"
It's a 92 Adam Sam or a 92 Adam.
Okay, so pulls up to it.
So your car here drove into oncoming lanes of traffic.
Okay, I will go ahead and take a look at that right now.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of a construction.
Okay, so there's construction there. So it wasn't really in traffic. It was through this construction zone. But it just kind of shows you here. Oh, it's repeating it. So isn't that interesting? A cop actually pulled over a Waymo car and it stopped. Okay, so the next thing I have is a man was arrested in LA for attempting to hijack a Waymo car. So the thing is, you cannot ride in the driver's seat. So I don't. They kind of tell you like, how does he get in there? I don't know. But here we go. Hang on a sec. Okay, so let's see. Man arrested. Okay, here we go.
A man is facing charges after making his way into a self-driving car in downtown LA. The Waymo vehicles are typically unlocked by a cell phone with a paid reservation. The LAPD is not sure how the man got into the vehicle overnight near the intersection of South Hill and 5th Street. Officers say he tried to drive.
So that tells you right there, like how you get in them. So you have an app, and then you just like Lyft or Uber. And then when it gets to your house, you unlock it with your phone. You can either hit unlock or you can have it set up that when your phone is going toward the Waymo car, it will unlock for you. So I can start walking toward the car and it just click, it just unlocks.
Drive the vehicle, but he couldn't get it to move. When officers arrived, he refused to come out of the vehicle, but he did later surrender to police.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
All right,
Get more
so
great.
There you go with that. So isn't that interesting? All right, Gian says, back in October 24, I saw a Waymo breakdown on the light rail tracks in Tempe. Oh my God. And they had to push it off the tracks. It was then blocking the lane most of the morning until maintenance could get it out there. Definitely hindered the morning commute. Okay, so that's a good point to make. And something that has made me think about things. I'm going to keep your comment up here because I've thought about this. So people think, so here's the big thing that people think about. Can somebody attack me in a Lyft or an Uber, the driver, you know, that kind of thing? Are they going to be under the influence or whatever? What if the door is locked? I can't get out. I don't know if you've seen those things where you can you're supposed to check when you get into a Lyft or Uber. There's a little lever thing in the back or whatever. So I think about this a lot, and I think, what if I got into Waymo? What if I just put the window down this much? Because then I'd be able to get it down, you know, because they do have. Now imagine being stuck on the train tracks and you're in the back of the car. So they do have. It's kind of like OnStar. You can get them right away. You can either get them through the app, you can text, or you can call, or you can call directly through the car. So I'm going to show you my first Waymo ride here, okay? And you can, it's on the Facebooks, okay? So you can see what you think. It's a less than 60 seconds, I believe. I don't know. It was a reel on Facebook. So let me get this organized really quickly. Hang on one second. See if I can make it bigger. Make sure the volume's on. Oh, actually, this is not my first ride, but this is with my parents. For this car with the parents. Say hi. What do you think?
Hi. I don't have a driver. I ride with ghosts.
What do you think?
This is better than getting somebody to drive.
Exactly.
most of the ones I get drunk.
Exactly. And I think it's like no distracted drivers. I know, I'm kidding. Okay, so that's just my parents getting out and stuff. If you really think about it, you know, like it is a lot safer. Okay, so GN says a couple of other things here. Hang on one sec. I saw a video a few weeks back of a Waymo going around and around. I'm going to show you that video right now. Going around and around in a parking lot in Phoenix by the Phoenix airport. Poor dude was just trying to get out and was on the phone with customer service as this car kept going. Yeah, I'm going to show you that right now. Isn't that funny that you just said that? Oh, so here's another potential issue that you could have. Thank you for bringing it up, GN, because you're pretty slick there. Okay. Okay, man nearly misses flight. Okay. I kind of went, it's like a news feed thing, so I kind of went to the beginning there. So here we go.
Okay, why is this happening to me on a Monday?
Mike Johns started rolling as the Waymo he was in started going round and round last week, and he started going in circles with customer service.
Why is this thing going in a circle? I'm getting dizzy.
He says it was spinning like a teacup at Disney World in a Scottsdale parking lot with him trapped inside and unable to stop it.
It's circling around a parking lot. I got my seatbelt on. I can't get out the car. Has this been hacked? What's going on? I feel like I'm in the movies.
In a video that's now gone viral, he says the Waymo turned like a top at least 5 times before customer service was able to get it under control and headed to the airport where Johns caught a flight back to LA. All the while, someone or something talking to him and failing to ease his concerns.
I don't have an option to control the car.
Oh my God.
Okay, so doesn't that sound crazy? So they say they don't have an option to control the car. Okay, so think about that for a minute.
I'm so sorry about this.
Well, can you stop this car?
I am trying to pull it over right now. Apologies.
Where's the empathy? Where's the human connection to this? It's just, again, a case of today's digital world, half-baked product, and nobody meeting the customer, the consumers in the middle.
He's still not certain he was communicating with a real person or AI.
Okay, so basically, you know, you can go to YouTube and look that up. But one of the things, GM says, it's not funny, but it's funny. Exactly right. And then Pam says, you spin me right round, baby. Oh, I don't want any copyright things because, you know, everybody's watching this channel. What? Okay, interestingly enough, here's what I think people can do. And hey, Waymo, if this is the thing, let me know. I've been in the back before where it's taken me to, you know, where I'm meeting my friends at a bar or a house or something. And it is like, hey, looking for a spot. So let's just say my spot is here. My spot, okay, let's just say my spot's way over here. And the Waymo's like, you know, try looking for a spot, and it stops like it wants to keep going. In order to get out of a Waymo, you have to like do the lever in the back twice, click, click. So I've done that. Like I'm like, I'm not gonna like have him drive around this parking lot, and I just go click, click, and it stops and the car door opens. And it ended my my ride. So so maybe that's a possibility. Interestingly enough, when my friend Tony was here, I was meeting him for the Cardinals 49ers game, and I took a Waymo and I took it to Scottsdale, so like northern Scottsdale. So it's like an hour. So I'm going to talk about the advantages of this here in a minute. I'm sorry that it's taking longer, but suddenly I get this call like through Waymo, and I was like, hey, we're seeing that the car's having trouble navigating to your spot. We're just checking in. I was like, no, I'm not having any trouble at all. So like, okay, let me just check things. And they're like, okay, that's fine. And they just kept going. So super interesting, you know? What else do I have on here? Man was arrested. Okay, I think you got all of those, and you got my parents. But here's my first Waymo ride. Okay, and this is on Instagram. I was like searching forever today, trying to find my stuff. I couldn't find it anywhere. So here's my first ride. It's pretty cool. Let me get it fixed first, really quickly here. Can I make it bigger? Can you make it bigger on Instagram? All right, you might miss the very beginning of it, but okay, I think it's fine. All right, share, and let me play. App. So I'm riding in a driverless car right now. One of my first times. Let's see.
Okay, so here it is driving up to my house. It was really strange seeing a car without a driver.
Idea.
And then once you get in, it gives you a couple of little details.
Hello, I'm from Waymo.
As we get going, just give us 1 minute to cover a few riding.
So it talks to you.
For any questions, you can find helpful info in the Waymo app.
And then
Oh, sorry.
you could do things like pick your music and stuff like that. I kind of scrolled through a little bit, but just driving around thought a driver is strange. And then the problem was it took an hour and 1 minute when it should have taken me only 25 minutes to get there.
You're here. Please make sure it's clear before exiting.
Then I used my little click it 2 times to get out of the car, and there were people standing around. I thought it was pretty strange, but watch the little things go in there. So I don't know why it took longer, but all in all, it was a good ride.
See, so pretty good.
I said to try the Waymo app,
hang on.
so I'm writing in it.
Boop. It's pretty easy, honestly. So pros and cons. Let's talk about this for a minute. Here's some things that we had on here. Okay. Oh, this Swiss Re is an insurance company, and it said Waymo's safer than even the most advanced human-driven vehicles. So a study compared Waymo's liability claims to human driver baselines based on this insurance company's data from over 500,000 claims and over 200 billion miles of exposure. So that's quite a bit. It found that the Waymo driver demonstrated better safety performance when compared to human-driven vehicles, with an 88% reduction in property damage claims and 92% reduction in bodily injury claims. So this is the same thing as like, okay, you're going to hear a couple of bad things about something, and then you're going to get this like negative thought about it. So like when I was teaching, so a couple bad teachers make teachers look bad. I'm a realtor. A couple bad realtors make all realtors look bad. I mean, it's that kind of thing. So you're going to have incidences, whether it's a driverless car or a car with a driver. So let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think is safer? And would you take a Waymo? So let me tell. So in the comments, let me see how I could do this. If you think driverless cars are safe, put a ghost. If you think they're not safe, put a stop sign. And if you would take a driverless car, just put a car in the comments. I mean, I kind of want to see all these comments. They'd be kind of fun. So Pam says, honestly, I would love one of these as my personal vehicle, especially in this crazy Vancouver traffic. Exactly. And for me, like I said, in Phoenix, it is a lot cheaper. Ghost. Okay. Gian, you can ride with me too, baby. All right. She said, oops. I'll take it. It's either a little ghost emoji or a ghost. Okay. So pros and cons of taking a Waymo, and this is from the public, and then I'll tell you mine. So pro, unlike drivers on their phones, Waymo doesn't get distracted. And one time in Vegas for the Highland Games, Mona and who else was with me in the car? Denise Boyd. We were driving in a Uber or a Lyft, and the person was constantly scrolling on their phone. And we were trying to talk to them. They wouldn't listen. We're like, could you turn it down? And just did not listen. So scary. It was. All right. Gian says ghost and a lot cheaper, and you don't have to talk to people. Okay. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute because that's one of my pros, honestly, even though I'm a big talker. Okay. So Waymo doesn't get distracted. The sensors on the front, back sides, and top of the car are constantly whirring. So it's kind of like those Google cars that are driving around, except it has people in it. It's a machine. Is a pro. Con, theoretically, Waymo can parallel park, but it dropped me off in the middle of the street, blocking traffic. So this is from one of those things I took. I don't know. Do I have anything else? I have nothing else for that, so we can remove that. So Pam says ghost and car. Excellent. Okay, so my pros and cons. I guess cons I have. So one time I was meeting, it was this pizza fest thing, and it was at Hayes Park. Anyway, it stopped in the middle of like kind of an off-ramp thing, and I called. But here's the thing: I called and I was like, "I'm not getting out of this car. This is not safe. There's not a crosswalk, yada yada." And they were like, "Okay, we're gonna drive you around." So the disadvantage was I had to walk, half a block farther because they couldn't guarantee to pull me back around. Whatever, that's fine. I've had that's a con, but also a pro, I would say. Okay, got another one here. Castro, excellent. Waymo got too close to my rear end the last time I was in front of one. Well, people can too, right? I mean, that happens to me sometimes. That's what I'm saying. There's no distracted so I don't know. I'm all for them. I'm just telling you, I'm all for them. But okay, so here's the other things. Can't think of any other cons. Oh, I haven't been in an accident with one, so I don't know. I could look that up. But here's my pros. It's cheaper. You don't have to tip. Let's talk about pregame. Not going to really mention that. Boom. You don't have to talk to anybody. And I'm a talker. Okay. But sometimes at the end of the night, I'm like, okay, God. I mean, sometimes when I'm hoarse, it's because I'm talking all the time. So you can just get in there. You can do video app things with your friends. You can chat. You can look at your social media. You can take a nap. You can actually hook up Spotify, probably Apple iTunes, to the Waymo and listen to that as well. So for me, it's a whole lot of advantages. So as every time I can take a Waymo, I'm going to take a Waymo. Okay. So let me know again what you think. I'm going to sign off here. It's been 30 minutes. It's been great. Thank you guys for joining me. I thought this would be an interesting topic, but sometimes when I'm putting it together, I have no idea how long it's going to take. So if you would, what did I say? If you take a Waymo, put a ghost emoji in the comments. If you would never take a Waymo, put a stop sign. And is that what I said? If you think Waymos are safer, what the hell did I say? I don't remember. Pam, if you're on here, Deanne, what did I say? It was a ghost for something. If you take a Waymo, if you take a Waymo, put a car. If you would not take it, put a stop sign. If you think Waymos are safer, put a ghost, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to sit here for a second because I'm going to tell you, this is what Sasquatch always says. I got to go here. He says, the journey begins with you. So be good to yourself. Oh, good. I have a comment. Sometimes I sign off and I'm sad because I see the comment come in afterward. Okay, ghost or stop sign, but it was a ghost for taking one, stop sign for not taking one, and then car if you think they're safer, I think. Rockstar as usual. Thanks, Katie. Pam, you're the best. Hey, Kat, I'll go with you on your first one if you'd like. It'd be a blast. Okay. So yeah, if we have more comments, we'll ghost if you take Waymo. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me honest. Ghost for Waymo. Perfect. Car if you think they're safer, I think, right? Is that what I meant? Okay. I'm a crazy person, but hey, I have a lot of fun doing this. So like I said, journey begins with you, so be good to yourself. And this is me, the Horgan. The Horgan loves you. Peace and love. I'm not signing off because I see more comments, which is way fun. Stop sign if you won't take one. No, I know that. I was trying to remember what I said. The car. Ghost if you take one. Stop sign if you wouldn't. I think car if you think Waymo's safer. Can't remember. I think that's what it was. Oh, hey, Lori. I love your name. Okay, we don't have them here because it's too snowy. That's true. So Pam, for who's in Vancouver, Lori, are you in Ontario? So these are some of my Canadian brethrens. Yes, true. So, but Pam's in Vancouver, which is bigger, I think. So I don't know if they'll actually come up out there. Thanks for the great conversation, Katie. Thanks, Jan. This was really fun, you guys. Thanks for hanging with me for 33 plus minutes. I'll see you next week. Sorry about last week. We all have our moments. I couldn't get it together. I was doing all the things. But I would like to interview more people. So if you would like to be interviewed and you have something that you want to talk about, reach out to me. DM me. Here I am on Facebook. Message me here. It doesn't matter. I'll get back to you. And let's talk about it. Let's have some candid discussions, shall we? Yep, near Toronto. Okay, yeah, so that's interesting. So Pam says Toronto's bigger. You get more snow. Vancouver gets snow, but rarely. Yeah, you get more rain, I think. Okay, guys, thank you. Oh my gosh, I got to keep up with these conversations. Let's talk about Waymo. I know, right? Okay, Jian, let's do. Okay, I'll see you next week, okay? I'm going to sit here for 1 second. Oh, I got more coming in. Let's talk. I have many ideas. See you Thursday. Okay, Kat. Awesome. Oh, by the way, she's in the Valley Connection, which you saw that podcast in December, which I'm a part of. And it's a great networking platform and to connect with people, other businesses, and actually mastermind and get support and all kinds of awesome things. So Kat's part of that, and that's how I know her. How cool is that? All right, guys. See you next week.